Iron Lords podcast. And we are live. Iron Lord podcast, lordsofgaming.net, Lord Cognito here, Lord Sonaldo here, with a legend in the realm. We have Lord JeromeASF. How are you doing, sir?
Good, very good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolute pleasure to have you, man. So let's get right into it. As far as YouTube, your journey as a content creator, let's start from the very beginning. First of all, what kind of got you and inspires you to create your channel and just get into YouTube gaming?
Sure. So I started my original channel back in March of 2008. So I've been doing it now for about 12 years. And at the time, I was 14 years old. And best way to put it, I was bored and looking for a new hobby. And so I'm like, well, what could I do? And I'm like, well, why don't I try out this new thing called YouTube? It was fairly new at the time in 2008. Ended up falling in love with it. The problem is my friends didn't share the same passion for it. So I was like, well, what can I film by myself? And then I was like, well, I love video games. So I started filming myself playing video games, and then it just kind of spurred from there. So just out of a passion for video making, really.
Awesome. So initial video games was the foundation. That's what kind of got you there. So what were some of the early videos or early games that you kind of were on your channel that you gravitated towards?
So at the time, I really gravitated towards, it's not the most popular games, but they were games that I enjoyed playing, which was very important for me throughout my career. I was always focusing on the games that I liked.
Nice.
But that would be Spore was the first one, which...
it's a great game.
Oh, it was an amazing game, right?
I love it.
Yeah. Spore, I also did a couple RuneScape videos, Halo 3. Unfortunately, there's more like emphasis on COD at the time in the community, but I loved Halo. That was my bread and butter. So Halo a bunch and a little bit of COD here and there.
Right. Nice. So what I was going to ask, a lot of what I noticed with your channel, huge Minecraft.
Yes. Yeah.
Huge, maybe Fortnite as well, influence as well.
Unfortunately, I tried Fortnite for a while. I kind of fell out of love with it because it got too competitive. And my channel is, unlike most gaming channels, less emphasized on the hardcore gaming, and more so just on a group of friends having a fun time. Nice. That's really where the emphasis lies. So for that, I kind of lost the passion to do Fortnite. That's
fine. So let's get back to Minecraft, though. So what drove you to say, okay, you know what, this game, man, I want to focus on, I want to create content for it. Like, what's that passion about?
Sure. So the reason I started doing Minecraft is simply because it's endless. I mean, it's a sandbox game, and I couldn't even begin to estimate how much time it would take you from start to finish to do every single thing there is to do. I mean, there are tens of thousands of mods out there. There's hundreds of thousands of maps. There's tens of thousands of servers. There's all sorts of different ways you can play the game. I genuinely think if you took someone from birth throughout the entirety of their life, they could not play everything in the game. So for me, I loved that it was what you made of it. And that there was no end to it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you were saying that you started really, really young in the YouTube game, if you will. So when you it was a long time ago, I assume. Yeah. When you started thinking about doing that, was it just basically recorded it, just published it, or did you kind of take the time to edit it, or did you kind of take some time over time? How did you kind of develop your your technique in your video making?
Yeah, so when I initially started out, there was very limited editing. A lot of it was just kind of off the cuff gameplay that me and my friends would hop in and just act like complete idiots, really, to be honest.
Which
and that
was
was
the best video.
of course, yeah, exactly. And then once we started to gain a little bit of a following, I was like, okay, maybe we can't be, can't just be, you can get away with that at first, but you gotta eventually transition. So I started doing a little bit of the editing myself. I was not very good at it. Still am not to this day. But luckily enough, nowadays I have an editor that works full time and just, makes our content look as amazing as it does.
What was that moment with Mom that you said, the conversation?
Yes.
Let's get it.
So I was absolutely stunned. When I first told my mom, I thought it was going to go horribly, but I'll never forget where I was. I literally can tell you right now, I was on College Avenue, which is a street or an avenue.
Jersey.
And New Brunswick for Rutgers. So that's where I was going to school at the time. And I was on the street just pacing back and forth, and finally I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm going to call her. Call my mom up. And there's just a brief pause, and I'm like, oh God, she's going to kill me. She's going to kill me. And then she just goes, no, that makes a lot of sense. You seem really stressed lately, so that that's okay. And, I could tell this is really working for you, and so you should do that. I don't like seeing you so stressed. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. She's like, but if it fails, you're going back. And I was like, and I was like,
the classic parents,
Yeah. So that was it.
That's awesome, man.
beautiful.
Yeah, back on track what we were saying. So again, like I said, seeing that journey, seeing that, what advice would you give to new content creators trying to get their stake in the game, trying to figure out this YouTube thing and find themselves?
So the best advice that I could give is that there is no one formula to success on YouTube. What really matters is paving your own way and making it unique and funny, and or entertaining, or whatever it is that you're going for. So the best way that I would say to do that is pick something you love and just roll with it. Because if you're trying to emulate someone else's formula, you're not going to stand out. You're doing exactly what other people are doing. You need something that makes you different. And the best way to do that is literally be yourself. If this is what you like doing, the same way that I liked playing Spore, I liked playing RuneScape, I liked playing Halo 3, although they weren't the most popular games on YouTube, and that's just what I did. I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do.
So you said that you and your team, you know, you guys are working 6 days a week. How do you prevent burnout?
Yeah.
Because that's extremely heavy. I felt like what we do, doing our full-time jobs and doing this nighttime stuff, it seems very pressureful. How do you guys, you know, withstand that problem?
For us, really, we just, I guess the best way to put it is, being we're enjoying what we're doing, it makes it a little bit harder to get that burnout. Like, it's kind of hard when you're playing games that you enjoy all day. Like, we hop from playing Ark and recording a couple videos, then we'll go over to Minecraft, it's like, these are fun games. Like,
awesome.
It's
Well, actually, I want to double down on that, because that's a great point. Because some content creators actually take the opposite approach. And they're like, well, this is not the popular game. I got to go with trends going, and I got to follow because all the gamers are playing this, so I need to play this. And sometimes they end up being miserable because it's something they don't enjoy playing. But you took the opposite approach and said, look, I'm going to play what I like playing. And then even if it's not popping, even if it's not popular, and stick with it. That's pretty awesome, pretty unique.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the thing too, is people, like Minecraft, for instance, people always assume Minecraft's always been on top, and it really hasn't. When I started filming that back in 2011, it was on people's radars, but it certainly wasn't the #1 game. And then over time as well, I continued to do that through 2011 all the way on to 2020 now. And believe me, along the way, there were times when Minecraft wasn't that popular, but it was what I wanted to do, so I just kept doing it. And that was
awesome, man. Any other questions, Lord Petey?
I'm good, thank you.
Listen, man, we have an absolute legend in the realm, Lord JeromeASF, breaking it down, the journey, everything. What else do you like to tell your fans and people who follow your content?
In terms of people who follow my content and my fans, I just want to say thank you. Thanks so much for letting me do what I love for a career, and just it brings me real happiness. Like, it really does, At the end of the day, I'll never forget what my dad said, where he said, he's like, Jerome, at the end of the day, your job, you wake up and you get to make people happy for a living. You can't ask for more than that. And I hold that saying very near and dear to my heart, what my dad said. So I'm just very grateful to them.
Absolutely awesome. Lord Jerome, an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Iron Lord Podcast, lordsofgaming.net. We are signing out. Peace.